Hi, I'm Chris Wharton.
And I'm Chris Siefken.
We're from First Baptist Church Windermere, and earlier today, we posted to the board a specific problem you have, and we have a solution. At least it's our solution, and we're going to walk you through that now. So while Chris is drawing on the board, I'm going to get you caught up on the problem, the specifics, and kind of a little bit about the gear along the way. So one of you wants to start recording video for your services to post on your website, and you don't really know where to start. Your budget is between $2,000 and $5,000, and here is what you need for sure. You need a single camera for recording and sending a feed to the lobby and nursery. The camera must be portable. A matrix switcher capable of 4 inputs as a minimum. That's 2 computers, 1 camera, 1 DVD player, and 4 outputs for a projector and 3 TVs. What would be a good recommendation for this setup? So we're going to show you basically how our equipment's set up, because we have a very similar setup. We have 2 cameras. We have 1 camera, 2 computers hooked up to ours. We don't have a DVD player. We have everything run through a switcher and a matrix switch. This allows us to switch between different inputs that goes out to our live stream feed or the record feed, and it allows us to put individually any of the inputs to any TV we want, and vice versa. We can have them all be the same. 1 TV could be 1. That's the advantage of having a matrix switch. We also record to SSD. We'll talk about that as we get there. But the start of everything is always a source. In this case, that's a camera. You want to buy a camera in this process, so there are multiple options. You can get a higher end camera, like some of the ones we use, but that's several $1,000s, kind of outside your budget. But there are plenty of other options. The Canon camera we use, there's a lower budget version. We'll put a link to that in the description that has many great features, HDMI, HD, SDI, that kind of stuff. But that one's about $2,500, and it's a great camera. Unlike using a blackmagic design with a lens or a digital SLR or anything like that that requires manual focus all the time, this kind of camera would have autofocus on it. And depending on how often you do this, you'll realize that it's such a lifesaver, especially when you are zoomed in pretty far from a stage, that being able to have the camera do a lot of work for you saves you a lot of times. But that camera is just a recommendation. It is a decent chunk of your budget. So you could do a cheaper camera, such as one you would buy like a big box retailer that still has HDMI on it, but is much cheaper in the $500 to $700 range, and kind of would do everything you need. So Chris is done with the board, and he'll explain the rest for you.
Okay, so we've got your sources on this side. You've got your camera, your computer, your other computer, and then the DVD player here. Now the camera goes directly into the switcher, because there's really no need to go directly into the matrix with that. Each of these sources are split by a 1 to 2 splitter, and then one side of that goes into the switcher inputs, and the other side goes into the matrix input. And then we have one from the output of the switcher to the matrix itself. So that way you have all of your TVs hooked up to your matrix output, giving you full control to put whatever you want on any TV at any time.
Our entire workflow is HDMI. And it's important to note, because I'm not sure what your routing is from whatever your source is to your TVs. For us, we use HDMI and Cat6 extenders to get to the TVs. Not Cat5, not Cat5e, Cat6. It's more stable that way. It holds signal better and allows you to run cables that much longer. I'm, again, not sure what you need, but that's what we use for ours.
That extender would go here. You have a Cat6, and then over here, the same thing, Cat6. And in here it would be a Cat6 cable, and then HDMI on both ends.
So, the splitters are important because they allow you to actually get 2 signals 2 different places to use the minimum amount of outputs of the matrix as possible. But if you look at the diagram, I'm sure you've realized this, you have 4 sources, 4 outputs, which means you need at least a 4x4 matrix switch. The problem is that if you add 1 more TV.
Yeah, there's no future proof here. So if you add 1 more TV, 1 more projector, 1 more anything, all your inputs are already used up. The best you could probably do is put another one of these splitters here, but then you'd be doubling whatever that is, whatever that output would be.
So the next step up, there are 6x6s, but we would probably recommend an 8x8 matrix switch for you, because it gives you plenty of inputs. You can add, if you add up 2 more cameras, 3 more cameras eventually, you're already future-proof for that. Also gives you plenty of outputs. You can double your number of outputs and still use the same device. Now there's a big price difference, and that's where the price for everything comes in. The camera, if you buy the camera we're recommending, that's $2,500. But you can go with a cheaper camera to kind of balance out your budget. The Matrix Switch, if you do a 4x4, that's somewhere between $300 and $400. If you do an 8x8, it's about $1,500. So there's a big difference there. Now, the switcher we recommend is by Blackmagic. It's $1,000, and it will allow you to do up to 4 inputs. It allows the graphic overlay and a few other features into it. The other thing that we have is a solid state recorder off of our switcher. This allows us to record after we put graphics on. So a lot of times, if you have graphics or lower thirds for things, you will go back in, you will put it on a computer, go into the editor, add all those marks in there, put all your graphics in, then export that. Well, because we do graphics live already, we record that output, and that's one less step you have to do after the service for everything. I think that's about it.
I guess that's it, yeah.
Great. So, if you have any questions, please PM us or leave a comment in this thread. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have or make more detailed videos if you need to see more or any kind of questions like that. And we're in Orlando. So if you're ever, or any of you are in the Orlando area, please send us a message. We'll get in contact with you. We'd love for you to stop by. We can show you how things are hooked up, how it runs. You can even play with stuff you want to kind of run through its paces to understand. We want to help you because a lot of things we learned were from communities like this that it's important for us to share knowledge with each other. No one wants to hold all the knowledge in.
Yeah, don't be a knowledge hoarder.
Yeah, we want to share. So we would love for you to come visit us. Just PM us and let us know. We would gladly set that up for you. So thank you for watching, and we hope to hear from you.
See you.